I wish I could make reaction videos, but I was born in 1956. I've heard all these songs. What could I possibly react to?
Hey whippersnappers, Brian here at A Boomer Reacts. Welcome back. If this is your first time here, thanks for checking me out. On this channel, I listen to rap and hip-hop songs using lyric videos, and then I let you know what I thought about them. Today, however, we are doing an interview. This is Tupac's 1994 MTV interview, March 9th to be exact. So March 9th, so the sham accusation has already happened, and I guess he's been charged, and his trial's going to start in November. I don't know how it really works, but I'm assuming, it was end of November when it happened. So I'm assuming that, he's made court appearances and been charged, and, is just now waiting to go to trial in November. And he gets shot at the end of this year too. I wonder, I guess that means maybe he's friends with Biggie at this time. I don't see why not. I don't think they really grew that far apart until after Quad. So, and the person doing the interview's name is Abby Curse. I don't know who that is, but I stopped watching MTV after they stopped doing, 24/7 videos. Okay, here we go. Tupac, March 1994.
You're most known for your acting, your music, or the controversy that surrounds you?
My big mouth. My big mouth. I got a big mouth. Can't help it. I talk from my heart. I'm real. You know what I'm saying? Whatever comes, comes. But my controversy probably. And it's not my fault. I'm trying to find my way in the world. I'm trying to be somebody instead of just making money off everybody. You know what I'm saying? And so I go down paths that haven't been traveled before, and I usually mess up. But I learn, you know what I'm saying? I come back stronger. I'm not talking ignorant, you know what I'm saying? So I obviously put thought into what I do. So I think my mouth, my controversy. I have not been out of the paper since I joined Digital Underground. I've been in all, you know what I'm saying? It's never, my name has not been not uttered, you know what I'm saying? And that's good for me because I don't want to be forgotten.
Really, even in Digital Underground?
And that means I think everything is okay.
It's interesting how hip-hop, rap music in the beginning, or a song like Grandmaster Flash's The Message, where basically they were saying, it's like a jungle sometimes. I wish, I wonder how I keep from going under. The whole root of what that song was basically saying, look, these are the problems here. And here we are 10 years or plus later, the problems are still there, and the intensity of the music has built to the no hope, the I don't give a attitude. How did we get from Grandmaster Flash, The Message, to where we are now in hip-hop?
Good question.
Again, you have to be logical. If I know that in this hotel room they have food every day, and I'm knocking on the door every day to eat, and they open the door, let me see the party, let me see like them throwing salami all over just like throwing food around, but they're telling me there's no food in here. You know what I'm saying? Every day. I'm standing outside trying to sing my way in. You know what I'm saying? We are hungry, please let us in. We are hungry, please let us in. After about a week, that song is going to change to we hungry, we need some food. After 2-3 weeks, it's like, give me all the food, breaking out the door. And after a year, then you just like, you know what I'm saying? I'm picking the lock, coming through the door, blasting, you know what I'm saying? It's like you hungry, you reached your level, you don't want any more. We asked 10 years ago. We was asking with the Panthers. We was asking with them, with civil rights movement. We was asking, now those people that were asking, they're all dead and in jail. So now what do you think we're gonna do? Ask, and we should.
I haven't seen a normal Tupac interview yet. It's not Tupac's fault. It's the production of all of these. This one's got random music in the background and cuts and everything. I'm not complaining about it. It's just, I'm making an observation. It's odd. Anyway, about what Tupac just said, she was asking about, how did hip hop go from the message 10 years ago to angry, violent, and he was making an analogy about there's a hotel and they're just throwing food around, and there's plenty of food, and then there's people outside the door, who want to be fed. The analogy is it's disenfranchised people of color outside, and it's society at large on the inside. Through song, the people of color are singing nicely and asking nicely, and it's not getting them anywhere. So after a little while, then it starts to get a little harder. Maybe like iced tea kind of, and it still doesn't do anything. And then we get to like NWA, and I guess I guess that gets the attention of the people who are in the hotel, but I think it also scares them. I don't know what the phenomenon is that it's difficult for humans of different socioeconomic levels, and also different races and different cultures, for them to find a way to communicate with each other where this message is being said and this message is being heard. I don't know what that phenomenon is called, but it's not working here. The nice music was not working. The more urgent music wasn't working. And then the angry music got everyone's attention, but everyone was too afraid to listen to it. So I don't know what the answer is. She was saying, 10 years ago, when the message was out, nothing has changed in these 10 years, and now we're almost, 20 years from her saying that, and nothing has changed. I don't know.
Be angry, and my raps that I'm rapping to my community shouldn't be filled with rage. You know what I'm saying? They shouldn't be filled with the same atrocities that they gave to me. In the media, they don't talk about it. So in my raps, I have to talk about it. And it just seems foreign because there's no one else talking about it.
Right. Well, playing devil's advocate, somebody might say, well, what does Tupac have? He's a movie star. He's got, hit records. What does he have to complain about?
And I'm going to tell you. It's like being the last person alive. You know what I'm saying? After 3 days, you can't do anything. What can I do? Where can I go? There's no black neighborhood, you know what I'm saying, with black people who have the same amount of money as me. You know what I'm saying? There's richer and there's poorer. There's no just, did a movie, got a little bit of money, living okay, black neighborhood. I have to be in a white neighborhood, so I don't fit in. That's hell. It's hell when you can't be around your peers. All my life I grew up around black people, poor people, but I can't live around poor people now because they'll rob me. And why would they rob me? Because they're starving, because there's no money here. But they're telling me, now that I made a little money, I have to move here. So it's not like no one's ever trying to deal with this section. They're just moving away from it. And we're going to have more stars coming from together, but they're going to all move this way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all the society is doing is leeching off the ghetto. They use the ghetto for their pain, for their sorrow, for their culture, for their music, for their happiness, for their movies, to talk about boys in the hood. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be I don't want to be 50 years old at a BET We Shall Overcome Achievement Awards. You know what I'm saying? Not me. You know?
That was funny. What he's talking about, he's got some money and, he's got to move away because the normal neighborhood that he would stay in, they know he's got money and, he might be in some kind of peril because, people are hungry. But he's saying he wouldn't belong in the white neighborhoods And you know that he might feel unwelcome and like a fish out of water. But if Tupac, this superstar mega selling artist, moved into a white neighborhood, they're not going to feel awkward. They're going to be like, holy shit, Tupac just moved in. He might feel awkward, but they're going to be thrilled. The community that he moves into, they're going to be thrilled. If he wasn't famous, I don't know. But because he is famous, he's going to be welcome, which is, very shallow, but, we all are to some degree.
Awards. You know what I'm saying? Not me. I want when they see me, they know that every day when I'm breathing, it's for us to go farther. Every time I speak, I want the truth to come out. You know what I'm saying? Every time I speak, I want to shiver. I don't want them to be like, they know what I'm going to say because it's polite. They know what I'm going to say. And even if I get in trouble, you know what I'm saying? Ain't that what we're supposed to do? I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our
I've heard
job,
that quote.
is to spark somebody else watching us. We might not be the ones, but let's not be selfish, and because we're not going to change the world, let's not talk about how we should change it. I don't know how to change it, but I know if I keep talking about how dirty it is out here, somebody's going to clean it up. I was having concerts, they were sold out, white boys, Mexicans, blacks, and they would do whatever I said. I could tell all those people in the audience to turn around in a circle, and they would do it. I was having love, like undeniable love, and I was scared. I was scared that I would come to a town and I have the leader of the gang there telling me, what do you need? I was scared, but so was America. So was somebody else, because all of a sudden I had all kind of legal problems. And you have to think about this. I had a clean record for 20 years. A clean record, living in the ghetto, in the gutter, no record. What about my morals then? What about my character then? You know what I'm saying? In 2 years that I start raising noise, that I start being publicly viewed, I've had a record. And now it looks like I'm a criminal who has no way of being reformed. But all of these came one after the other. Do you understand?
Right.
It takes logic.
Well, what about, that's another interesting part of your past. Have you ever been incarcerated before?
Have I ever been incarcerated? No, not for longer than a day. Longer enough for somebody to take me. The police can arrest anybody they want, put them in jail. But if you stay there, what I'm saying, I haven't stayed anywhere. I've been arrested a lot, put in the cell, and they come and get me when I call my lawyer. You know what I'm saying? But I'm an innocent type of guy.
Well, I wanted to bring up, obviously tomorrow is a big day. You're being sentenced tomorrow, and we're sitting here in 24 hours. You'll know what the situation.
Now that I'm getting the month and year in my head, I had this problem with the Ed Gordon interview where he before the sham trial occurred in November. He sat down with Ed Gordon and he said something about I was sitting in trial and I felt helpless, and I was like, okay, what trial was this? And I thought maybe it's the menace to society Hughes brothers thing, where he attacked them and eventually got some fines and in 15 days. I don't even know that he went into prison, but that must be what this is. So the day after this interview, he's going to find out what his sentence is for that assault.
Here in 24 hours, you'll know what the situation's going to be. Are you thinking about the prospect of going to jail?
First, I was like, I'm not going to jail. I was like, if they try to come get me for something I didn't do, I'm gonna open fire. You know what I'm saying? But I can't do that because it's not just me anymore. You know what I'm saying? That's what they expect. If I have to, if God sees it fit for me to spend time in a cell, if he wants my brain to be inside of a cage, if he's brought me so far from hell to put me here, and now he wants me to go to jail, I'll go. You know what I'm saying? If that's where I'm meant to be. But I don't think so. I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? I don't really believe in my heart that I belong in jail. I don't believe I did anything to warrant me going to jail.
Okay. What do you think, if you do go to jail, is to be expected because you are a known personality?
I'm gonna ask to be put in solitary confinement, and I'm gonna do push-ups and read books, and come out weed-free, smoke-free, and with a degree or some shit.
You know, when I was doing the East Coast West Coast rivalry, this is exactly how Tupac sounded when he was going to go to prison for the sham trial, the sexual assault thing. He was going to, read and work on his body and write, and, come out a better person, be weed free. That's what I remember him saying. Might have been from the prison interview, which has been requested. And sorry, I already saw it when I was doing research for East Coast West Coast rivalry. So it might have been in that where he said, I'm reading and writing, but I don't know what the maximum he could get for this Hughes brother thing. Maybe he's thinking, he could go to jail for a year or something. I don't know. It turned out to be, very little.
Weed free, smoke free, and with a degree or some shit. You know what I'm saying? I won't let it stop me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to jail to just parlay. If I went to jail, best believe it's not like I'm gonna have a problem in jail. I got love there. You know what I'm saying? I got love from thugs and the street dudes. And I can go to jail and probably organize a riot. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what I want to do. If I have to go to jail, I don't even want to be living. I want to just cease to exist for however long they have me there. And then when I come out, I'll be reborn. You know what I'm saying? I'll be taking less problems. And my mind will be sharper and the venom will be more potent. You know what I'm saying? So they shouldn't send me there. They should really try to, it's like you don't throw more gasoline on the fire to put it out.
Mm-hmm. What about, this is one step, and there's some other, cases that are going to be coming up. What has changed for you? And you mentioned the last 2 years is when everything
That's
started
a sexual
to happen
assault
one
thing.
after the other. What changed for you in these 2 years? How is your life now different than it was before?
Like I said, it was no spot for Tupac. It's not like there was somebody like me before and I moved into the spot so I can ask him how he did it. You know what I'm saying? There was no spot here. Nobody wanted to be, the person that thugs and the street people could rally around. Nobody wanted to be that. So when I was that, I couldn't handle it. You know what I'm saying? I could handle it, but not right away. Of course, I had problems. I was making mistakes that anybody would make when you have 14,000 people ready to do whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? When you have all over the country people waiting to hear what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? This thug life code, we have a code putting order to the violence on the streets. And when they all listening to you, I got people in the penitentiary, you know what I'm saying, big time OG criminals who are calling me, telling me they want me to lead their movement. I'm gonna have a problem, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have a small identity crisis here, you know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, I was from a single father, a single mother with no father, no male figure. Now I got every man in America who wants to take an order from me, you know what I'm saying? Who wants to know what I want to do, or, what's my plan for young black males. And that makes me scared, but that makes me want to rise to the occasion, you know what I'm saying? What makes me want to give my whole life to them, and I will give my whole life to this plan that I have for thug life.
Now, when you said a code, I don't know exactly what do you mean by a code?
I organized the OGs in the East Coast and the West Coast and the penitentiaries to come up with a set of codes of ethics for criminals, Like, we're going to be against drive-bys, kidnappings, attacks on people that are not involved with the street gang, with the drug trade or the illegal business at all. All that kidnapping and shooting drive-bys out the car, we against that. And people who perpetrate that, they have to deal with the consequences when they go to jail, because that's who's going to enforce this code and the thug life that's on the street. It's like we cleaning up the dirt. I can't change the dirt that's here, but I can put all this dirt in one corner. You know what I'm saying? Somehow have some order here. And for that, they need to give me a little leg room.
I don't think I quite understand this. He's saying that to detour, D-E-T-E-R, deter, men on the street from doing, drive-bys or including innocent bystanders in, you know, gunfire and kidnappings. He's making it sound like those guys are going to be deterred from doing that because if they get caught and get sent to prison, then they're going to, you know, have a harder time there than they were before, like get beat or something. That doesn't sound like much of a deterrent. If going to prison is not a big enough deterrent to stop someone from, you know, firing a gun out in the street, I don't know that anyone's going to think twice and say, you know, shit, I got caught. Now, you know, prison life is going to be, you know, really bad because I broke a code. I don't see that stopping anyone. You know, they're out there, you know, retaliation for a drug deal or something. I don't think anyone's going like, oh shit, I'm breaking the code. That doesn't seem like that would work.
Let me do what I want to do because nobody else is going to do it. Nobody else wants to do it. But I'm not scared to walk in the middle of Watts, Compton, Chicago, wherever, and sit down with whoever's the OG and say this is what we need to do. I didn't want to change. I love that, you know, even though I was with Janet Jackson, with big movies and all that, I'll be up at the dirtiest house party in the hood. And people could not believe it. And I used to thrive off that. Being up in the party and somebody turn around and go, oh my God, that's too much. And everybody going crazy because I'm up in the dirty party, no security, lights out, drinking, hella drunk, you know, drunk with everybody else. But that's what kept my sanity. That's what kept me right, and that's what kept me going. My fans know that I'm real. My fans go to jail just like me. They understand me. Half my fans are white. The white fans, they listen just as much as the black fans. The ones that have approached me, I've been genuine fans. These are the people that are gonna have jobs in the future and are gonna hire my family. But many of my fans don't have ID. Some have jobs, some don't. Some are on welfare, you know what I'm saying? Some are not. Some are rich and some are poor, but they all share that hopeless fear. Thug life hit me like the Holy Ghost. It cuts both ways. To me, it's like, when I say I lived a thug life, baby, I'm hopeless. One person might hear that and just like the way it sounds, you know what I'm saying? But I'm doing it for the kid that really lives a thug life and feels like it's hopeless. So when I say hopeless, and when I say when I say it like that, it's like I reach him. You understand? And even if when I reach him, it makes it look glorious to the guy that doesn't live that life, I mean, I can't help it, it's a fad, you know. He'll drop the thug life soon enough. But for the person that I was trying to reach, he'll pick it up and I'll be able to talk to him again. I think I'm being responsible, but it's hard. Once you start worrying about what you're saying, I get writer's block. Kind of like, I can't say that, that's too harsh, can't say this. Now I have to just block it out and trust my heart.
There was a time when he was trying to censor himself on lyrics. That doesn't seem like something he would put up with. Like if the record label says, you know, that's a little too profane, you know, calm it down. Doesn't seem like Pac would agree with that.
Now I have to just block it out and trust my heart that I'm doing the right thing. When did I ever say I was a gangster rapper? You know what I'm saying? I'm a thug. When I'm saying thug, I mean not criminal, someone to beat you over the head. I mean the underdog. If the person that had nothing succeeds, he's a thug. Because he overcame all obstacles. It doesn't have anything to do with the dictionary's version of thug. To me, thug is my pride. Not being someone that goes against the law, not being someone that takes, but being someone that has nothing.
And that's all fine and good that you label yourself thug because it means that, but you know, 98% of the world, you know, thinks thug is what that dictionary said, you know, a hoodlum. So to think that, you know, everyone's going to understand what you mean when you call yourself a thug, that's going to need a little more explanation.
But being someone that has nothing, and that even though I have nothing and there's no home for me to go to, my head is up high. My chest is out, I walk tall, I talk loud, I'm being strong. I don't understand why America doesn't understand thug life. America is thug life. What makes me saying I don't give a fuck different than Patrick Henry saying give me liberty or give me death? What makes my freedom less worth fighting for than Bosnians or whoever they want to fight for this year?
Before Thug Life, when you were with Digital, working as a roadie and as a dancer, was that real? When I mean, I just read that you used to like do dance, you know, the dances with the plastic.
Dance with the naked doll. That was me. That's what I mean by I'm real. I'm truly hardcore because I needed the money and I had to work. So if he told me that for me to get paid, I had to go out there in bikini briefs and hop on top of this doll, and that's how I got to get paid. And I was homeless at the time. That's what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? But what I did was not let him pimp me. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like I just did that because that was my order. As soon as I got the chance to say what was on my mind, I said what was on my mind. And we have a platinum record now. You know what I'm saying? So I went from dancing naked with the dolls, being unknown, to now having a platinum record. You know what I'm saying? And now I don't have to never touch another naked doll. I'll never have to dance, jiggle, nothing. I can hire dancers.
You got to do what you got to do.
3 people dancing, I can have people dancing in the audience. You know what I'm saying? Well, you have to work from one point to go to another point. So I admire the work ethic. I think that it should be reinforced throughout our neighborhoods, that everybody should work hard. Practice makes perfect. You have to be diligent about what you want. You have to apply yourself. You have to motivate yourself. And you have to do it for self, by yourself. And then you can do things for other people. But that's what I had to do. I had to do for self.
Do you feel in any way by having a 40, having a gun and a blunt, if that's glorifying the use of that to children?
It might. I thought about that, you know. I thought about how much that, you know, the 40s and all of that, and I was kind of against it before, but whatever I wrote was honest. It might not have been positive, you know what I'm saying? It might not have been politically correct, but I've reached somebody, you know what I'm saying? They relating to me. They relate to the brutal honesty in the rap. There's no Jesse Jacksons around, you know what I'm saying? Those people weren't around. All those people that pop up and say, we need to check what we saying in the rapping and TV, those people are not around. Is Frank Sinatra a gangster singer, you know what I'm saying? Is Steven Seagal a gangster actor? I rap about the oppressed taking back their place. My lyrics and my verses are about struggling and overcoming. I mean, women know that there are bitches out there. I don't know why women look surprised. They know. They say it louder. They just think that we're saying they're all bitches. That's not what we're saying. I give a holler to my sisters on welfare. Tupac cares. If don't nobody else care. And that's what I tried to do with Keep Your Head Up and Get Around. I said, I'm gonna write a song about the women like my mom or the women like my sister, who I think represent a strong black woman. I did that. Now I'm gonna rap about the women that I see every day, and that was Get Around. If I just did songs like Keep Your Head Up, it would make me seem more than what I am, but I'm just a normal man. I get love. I still get love from my community. I owe them everything. That's what I owe everything to the hood. I cannot give it up. I don't understand how people could stand next to you 1 year, and next year they cannot stand there. They just going crazy screaming. They just can't take it that you're right there. But just last year, I was in the same club, walking around lonely like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't get a date. Couldn't get nobody to dance with me. I was too skinny, too something.
I mentioned that in maybe the Ed Gordon, one of the interviews, and said, you know, to be that young, to become a star so quickly, to you know, have the responsibility of being a role model, and you know, all of a sudden you're very popular everywhere you go. What a mindfuck, right? I can't even imagine what that would be like.
Couldn't get nobody to dance with me. I was too skinny, too something, and now he's just adorable. He's just,
Well, how did your relationship, or lack of a relationship with your father, influence who you are today?
Because I didn't have a father, I thrived for the family, you know what I'm saying? So that's what made me be able to do this work. That's what makes me be able to accept all black people as my family. You know, that's part of my downfall. But because I didn't have a father, it makes me cold and bitter. Not just as the excuse. I know people are tired of hearing, oh, you have a father, we had a rough life. But, I mean, you have to be logical, you know what I'm saying? The reason I didn't have a father, it's not like I'm saying, okay, now sympathize with me. I'm saying, remember that I'm telling you I did not have a father. So when you go, what kind of kid is that? What kind of morals do we got? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I was raised by a Black Panther, you know, and out of jail. I was raised on, like, by a lot of street people. So, of course, my values are real street-orientated. But that doesn't mean that I don't have any values or I don't have any morals. You know what I'm saying? It's just that my morals are applied to the people who I'm around.
If you had a father figure growing up, how would you be different? Would you be different?
I think I'd probably be a.
That is like the stupidest question ever. How would he know? It's so stupid.
Would you be different right now?
I think I'd probably be a lawyer somewhere, you know, because I wouldn't have hung out. I wouldn't have looked for that father figure, and I wouldn't have learned all this treacherous street game that now I can't forget. Because I was raised by a woman half my life and then thrown to the streets, it's like I got the woman side, then I got real rough, manly values like forced on me.
So sensitive. Don't be so sensitive, Tupac. Well, basically,
Boogaloo. Marlon Wayans playing the role of Boogaloo.
What is Boogaloo?
Where did that name come?
So this is the Above the Rim press junket. So he's already filmed Beyond the Rim, which means that when he was in New York filming this, that's when he met Haitian Jack, and he wanted to hang around with Haitian Jack because he wanted to get he wanted to do homework for his role in is it Above the Rim? Above the Rim. His role in that was like a street gangster. So he was hanging around with Haitian Jack, but wow. And this is after the sham accusation, so I bet he regrets that friendship now. I think he's by this time already extremely suspicious of Haitian Jack, and at the end of this year he's going to get shot, which I think has Haitian Jack involvement. And Jimmy the henchman is the one who called him, and Jimmy and Jack are tight, so that just makes sense.
What is Boogaloo?
Where did that name come from, first of all?
Some white guys sitting there. What's a homeboy hip-hop name? Boogaloo!
What are they calling each other these days?
I got a song called Pain. I wrote it as soon as I got out of jail after getting charged, and I felt it, you know what I'm saying? Basketball is, and I hate to make this sound cliche, like all us black folks need to get out the ghetto is a basketball.
Or dance.
You know what I'm saying? But it's not like that in this story. It's not like basketball in terms of him going to college. It's just basketball in terms of there being something for him to concentrate on, something for him to get his mind away from the negative.
And that's the action in our movie, is the basketball. It's like guns in Die Hard. It's the action.
I like playing the bad guy, but I want to play a bad guy that's for real, like a Robert De Niro or Harvey Keitel, you know what I'm saying, with some substance and character, and not just a crazy fool with a gun. I chose a razor, because in the streets of New York and the club scenes, that the thugs carry razors in their mouth. And when they get into altercation, they spit it out in the cut. You know what I'm saying? I was amazed. I was like, that's raw. That would really scare somebody. And that was part of the fear that I wanted to bring to Birdie. It must be hard for a director to have his main character in jail. You know what I'm saying? And you have to shoot tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? But they never let me feel that. I came on the set and it was just like, I left last night. Am I crazy or what? Hell no, I ain't crazy. I wasn't crazy when you was interviewing me. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't crazy when we were sitting up there when I had the pain in my... But it's okay. They got to sell, magazines, and that's fine. I understand. But to me, we just had a long interview. I don't seem crazy. You know what I'm saying? I seem logical. What's really going on is this is a crazy world. And if you're not a tad bit crazy, you will not survive.
Nope. It's over. Well, that was interesting. This was a few months before the Ed Gordon one, and I remarked about how calm he was in that because he had that the sham trial weighing on him, and this one he had the sham trial further off, but the next day was going to be the Hughes brothers thing, and sounds like he's thinking that it's possible he could go to jail for many months. So I'm glad he got, I don't even know if you'd call it good news the next day, but it could have been worse. But he seemed very calm about it. I would be, freaking out. I wouldn't be able to talk to anyone if I knew that I was, getting sentenced the next day and I had no idea what was going to happen. I would be in my room, I don't want to talk to anybody. But, calm, cool, collected, intelligent. He doesn't let that outside bullshit, interfere with what he's got to say. And that's admirable. There's no way I could do that, ever. Especially at his age. I can't do it now. Well, that was very interesting. Especially the time frame is what makes it interesting. So close to the sham accusation. I would be so pissed about that. Being charged for something I didn't do and have that trial looming over me. And this whole time he's doing, he's working on Me Against the World. He's working on that now, I would think, because it comes out probably a year from now, because he's in prison for the sham trial, and Me Against the World comes out, and that was Marchish. So yeah. Well, thanks for recommending that, guys. That was very interesting. And thanks for hanging out with me. If you like this kind of content, give me a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.